When teachers create opportunities for children to see themselves as successful readers and writers, they foster literacy motivation and engagement within and across lessons. In this classroom, children are working with their teacher to set meaningful goals.
I will often have my own goals in mind as a teacher, where I want my students to move forward in their learning. But when I'm looking at my children and their goals are very different. They want to be able to read chapter books, or they want to be able to learn more about trains in the books that they're reading. Or if they're writing, they will want to teach people how to do something, such as play a video game or something like that. So we find that when students can make up their own goals and really be a part of that, the motivation comes from inside and they feel intrinsically motivated to do the work. Alex, I've noticed that you're reading books that are harder and they have more words in them, so I'm really excited for you that you are able to read longer books. So now that you've met that goal, I'd like to set a new goal with you, and I'd like you to be a part of that goal setting. So what is something that you would really like to do as a reader?
I would like to read more books about insects.
About insects? Are you interested in insects?
Yes.
Yes, you are? Well, I know that when we're reading books about insects, that some of the words can be very tricky, and the names of the bugs and the different insects can be very hard to say. So I was thinking that one way that we could do that and help you move on as a reader and meet that goal is maybe to listen to some books about insects first, so that we know some of the words that we're going to find in the books that we're reading. When my first graders set really big goals for themselves, it helps them to persevere and to keep trying and working towards that goal. And so my job is to help them find the steps to get there. So if I have first graders who want to read about a topic and the books are very challenging for them, I will often have them do partner reading. We can do shared reading activities or echo reads. They'll even look at some of those books during their dyad groups where they're working together with another student so that they can have exposure to those texts that they're interested in. I will often have them listen to books, whether they're listening to them on an app through our iPads or laptops. They can also listen to books on tape so they can build up the vocabulary of the words that they're going to come across in those texts. Caleb, I am so excited that this whole group is here because every one of you has met your goal. You've been working really hard on writing longer pieces in your notebook. So when we first started writing, you just had a couple of sentences in your notebook, and you said that you wanted to write longer pieces in your notebook. And now when you're writing, I know this one has just started, but your writing goes almost all the way to the bottom of the page, which is so exciting. What do you think your next goal could be to help you move forward as a writer? What would you like to write about?
To write like all the way down to like 2 pages in one story.
You want to write all the way down to 2 pages in one story? Oh my goodness, that's a very big goal. What do you think we could do to get to that?
Like by me practicing like how to write.
More practice time? Well, one thing I do to help me get lots of writing on my paper is I do some brainstorming before I write so that I have more than one idea that I'm going to add to either my story or my personal narrative or anything that I'm writing. So I'm thinking that maybe if you start making a list of your ideas before you write, that goal of writing for 2 pages is something that you could definitely do. Do you think that might help you? Okay, so maybe today, what are you writing about?
How to play Minecraft.
How to play Minecraft. Maybe since you have a nice title here, we could start making a list of all the things you know how to do when you're playing Minecraft, so that when you go to write your piece, you have a lot to say and you can put more writing on your paper. Do you think that would help you meet your goal of having 2 pages? All right, I think so too. Do you want to get started? All right. When I see my students setting goals for themselves and achieving those goals, it makes everything that I do worth it. All of the hard work that we put into seeing the excitement that they get out of meeting their goals and planning their next one, it comes to life in those moments.
Learn more at literacyessentials.org.